Bruh. I think no one would argue that human beings are fundamentally hedonistic. In other words, we are wired for pleasure. We are wired to seek out experiences that reward us neurochemically and to shun experience that bring us pain, suffering, or boredom. It is said actually that boredom can lead to incidences of depression and anxiety. An unstimulated subjectivity is a problem for human beings. Now, Jamie Wheal says that it's a fundamental miswiring of our nervous system. He says that our self systems are like leaky buckets. They're like colanders. No matter how much pleasure we're getting, we're bleeding from our many holes. And most of us become bliss junkies. We get hooked on the state without ever trying to raise the stage, which is what Jamie Wheal and Stephen Kotler propose. They propose actually transforming our self systems from leaky buckets into chalices, right? So that we can render ourselves whole and maybe render ourselves holy. This kind of transhumanist approach to transforming ourselves, to become paradise engineers, to bliss ourselves out by transforming our fundamental wiring, is seen as heretical by the Puritans. There's a great book called After the Ecstasy, the Laundry, which of course uses the rationalist argument that no matter how transcendental certain peak experiences in our lives are to define what it's all about, to carve our North Star, we should nonetheless get comfortable with the after effect, with the come down. After the ecstasy, the laundry. Go back to fetching water and chopping wood. You know, I've always felt, what do you do after a mystical experience? What do you do after a cosmic orgasm? What do you do after becoming one with everything? Fetching water and chopping wood. And I guess what I'm saying is that I don't agree with that Puritan mindset of accepting that transcendence has to be temporary, that our fundamental wiring requires us to come down from our bliss and our grace and our highs. And I propose instead
minimizing our suffering and the suffering of those we care about is a crucial part of what drives us. Hence, so-called abolitionists argue that we start using modern technologies to do exactly that, minimize and eventually abolish suffering, ushering in an era of so-called super well-being.
Ideas of paradise engineering, of rewiring our transforming subjectivity to engender a kind of godhood of mind, pleasures and paradises beyond anything we can imagine. So, after the ecstasy,
nanotechnology, wireheading, epigenetically, which would be positive, would also be good. Only time will tell.
Mr. Wonderful here. My friend Howard Marks is the co-founder of Activision, the gaming giant behind franchises like Call of
For many years, the leaves of the kratom tree have been.
What is kratom, Dr. B? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Give you kind of an overall picture of what kratom is. It's a
Alright, looks like the employees are characterized by why? With the work, and then at 7. Well, I'll
when your kid is hurting and there's nothing you can do about it.
What? Why the chicken? But they got good chicken. The hell of them got good chicken.
Oh, come on. You're interrupting the stream. Oh, good. But still. I'm depressed. No, I'm highly depressed. And I'm trying to find a job. I went to 20 to 30 places and I can't find a job yet. That's what the real world. Everyone's saying no to you to not give you a job.
Exactly.
And then they give it to all the other people that are so dumb they make a rock seem like Einstein.
Listen. The only reason why I
So
got
dumb is smart is smart is dumb. I might as well drink antifreeze.
Brother, the reason why I got the job in the first place is because I seeked help from the program. But before that, I was going everywhere with the job and nothing. But by the time the program was helping me, I finally got the message supposed to donate a pot. It was too late. So I was already gone to work in the factory.
So what's Domino Park? What?
In the domino part, I was just, dishwasher job. That's it.
Oh. Can I go to the program? Because I heard you said they have an age limit to the program that gives you a job. But what if the adult section doesn't help that much? Hopefully it helps. I need to get a job. Otherwise I'm going to be depressed forever. I need a sleeping pill.
Early in the morning, okay? If you want to take a nice shower,
Wait, let me look for a sleeping pill. Se me cayó la medicina. No, they're in the med cell. And there's no sleeping pill. Why the fuck are all the pills going disappearing? No, my pills. There's not much room here. Bro, on OD2 past the hospital. What happened to the spray? Look, it's broken. The spray is broken. Right?
don't look at me.
Oh, here it is. It fell off. depressed, but I still have to defend myself against gangs. What, you use a butane torch instead of a lighter? No, no, but butane is superior.
Seriously.
No, this mom does it good. Emotional damage.
Seriously. I was born on Valentine's Day. Seriously. I was born on Valentine's Day. Happy birthday to me. It makes sense, doesn't it? Me being born on a day made for lovers. It's like a Lovapalooza. I know what you're thinking. Will the ladies ever love me as much as they love Johnny? And if you're a lady, take notes, gentlemen. Take a peek, take a look, take it in. And if the escalator tries to bring you down, go crazy. What was your number again? Oh yeah, it's on. Mama, you know I hate your taste in women. You're a chick. You go for personality.
You just trust me on this one. You're meeting her tonight at the Aaron City Cafe.
I'm sorry, Mama, but I can get my own dates. Thank you very much.
Buenos dias, Bravo Familia.
And another thing. I know that
Una poca de gracia.
And I'll be...
Bamba, bamba.
Don't you take naps?
Siesta. A las 3.
Mama, I'll be back with 100 dates, and I'm gonna get them all on my own. Blind date. Fair. Lesson number 1. Never let your mama set you up on a blind date. She usually turns out to be a nice girl with a dorky personality and an infected ear.
Happy Valentine's Day, Johnny.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You have nice hair and you don't smell like poo. Love, Susie. Thanks, little neighbor kid. Now, if you don't mind, I've got me some dates to make. I'm in the book!
Pardon me, but are you Johnny Bravo?
Hold that thought. Why, yes, I am.
That's terrific! And on your left, you'll observe an improper way to give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Any questions? No? Then we're walking.
Johnny like.
are the best date ever.
You too, ever.
Before we go any further, there is something that I have to tell you.
Don't tell me you're a werewolf.
No.
An antelope?
No.
A female impersonator?
No, nothing like that.
Then can we see each other again?
So for over 17 years, I thought that I had a problem with this, but I actually didn't. And I want you to consider for a second, just entertain me. If you think...
This is not like cartoons and movies. You don't get the girl. Mary was the girl, and she's gone. The other girls just wanna abuse and abuse me. I go through so much trauma, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. On top of not even being funny, it's super serious.
Say we have ourselves a perfect date.
Oh, come on. I thought you'd never ask.
Happy Valentine's Day, you two.
Oh, hush up. I'm having a moment.
You go, Johnny. Yeah, baby.
The best date ever.
You too, ever.
Don't just see a place, experience it with the locals that know it best. See Notre Dame.
That's the prize. Well, at least I'm kind of normal. Sort of depressed, but I took medication, and like pills and herbs. I took kratom, 4 grams, not 4 milligrams, 4 grams of kratom powder, a little bit of nicotine. What I really wish is if I had propylhexedrine hydrochloride to deal with ADHD. It's nothing to do with my lifestyle. I don't even have my sunglasses. I don't know. Obviously, I got to find mask. It's like a tiny bit of color. Like underneath of the usual freaking I don't know what I'm trying to say. Even if it's only half as much.
doctor mío, la medicina mía son para mí, las tuyas son para ti. Yo no puedo pedir medicina para otro. ¿Por qué tú no coges ese culo y te vayas al doctor Chu? Cada vez que te dan a comer, no levantarte lo deja perder.
Pills that doesn't work that well. So I have to act to amplify it. Because if it was an MAY, like Selegiline, Parnate, or Nardil, it would work better.
Americans put in your biscuits, your cookies. I'm sure this is laced with something, but these are somewhat addictive. When I was on my bulk, I was slamming these after every leg day. And I don't know what you Americans put in your biscuits, your cookies. I'm sure this is laced with something, but these are...
We got all kind of personalities. Alphas, betas, omegas, gammas, deltas. These motherfuckers just flat out bitches. That's all they are is bitches. And bitches will always be bitches. One thing about social media, it gives a weak motherfucking platform. Stay hard. We got all kind of personalities. Alphas.
So Brett Fairley, who went viral for his insane paternity fraud story recently, was just arrested and made to take down all of his videos. It's a lot, but I'll give you the quick breakdown. So Brett is a young man who ends up getting approached by an older woman named Maria who asks him to be her sperm donor. She convinces him with paperwork and everything that it's all on the up and up. He's not going to be legally responsible for this child. Despite this arrangement and them only having a one-night stand to complete this arrangement, Maria ends up finding Brett's mom and grandma and tells them that she's pregnant with Brett's child and convinces them that he should be involved with the pregnancy. His mom and grandma now want to be a part of the baby's life, so they convince Brett that he should be too. So he agrees to start paying child support. But after a little over a year, having paid now $55,000 to this woman for this baby, he ends up taking a paternity test and finds out the baby isn't even his. Not only that, but Brett finds out that Maria likely knew who the real father was this entire time, but refused to disclose it because the real father was married to another woman at the time. Oops. So Brett goes to court for paternity fraud, asking for his name to be taken off the birth certificate, child support to end, and to be paid back for all the child support he did pay. In a kind of surprising victory, the courts actually do agree to end Brett's parental and child support obligations, but they don't make Maria pay him back, and I'm pretty sure his name is still on the birth certificate. The judge also assigns a mutual restraining order for the both of them, meaning that neither of them can ever talk about this case again. Basically a gag order. But according to Brett, Maria broke this order almost immediately by contacting his family, telling them that he's a deadbeat who abandoned his child. So Brett decides that he too is going to defy the order and clear his name. And that's when he made a multi-part series detailing all the lies, how he got played, and also his own mistakes along the way to help educate other men. I actually remember one interview where Brett was asked what he would tell his younger self if he could, and he said that if he had ever heard a story even remotely similar to what he went through, he would have never been in that situation. So his story does have the ability to prevent this from happening. But obviously, the courts don't want this story out there. Why? It just makes you wonder, especially when you consider that in other countries like France, it's actually illegal for men to perform paternity tests on their kids without the mother's permission because, in their words, it would destabilize the community. And honestly, this whole concept that you have to prove paternity fraud is also crazy to me because it's like, did she say the kid was his? Did the DNA test say that it isn't? Seems to me that there was pretty clear deception involved. But we do have to learn from this, and honestly, this is why a lot of guys are very hesitant to sign anything until they get that DNA test. This is also why I think it's really important for women to stop taking DNA tests so personally and making it this big relationship-ending deal. You should want to be able to offer your man that reassurance, and you should also want that reassurance yourself. After all, hospital switch-ups do happen to women too. They can shut him up, but they can't shut us all up, and men need to hear this stuff. Men deserve to know if their kid is theirs or not without being shamed for wanting to know that. So Brett Fairley, who
money in the bag now!
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
I have a boyfriend.
Not what I asked. Put the money in the bag.
I get it. You saw me. You were too nervous to talk to me, so you went home to grab a mask so you could talk to me. But regardless, I have a boyfriend.
Do I look nervous to you? I don't care if you have a boyfriend. Put the money in the bag or I'll shoot.
Shoot what? Shoot your shot?
No, I'll shoot the gun that's in my hand.
Oh, that's pathetic.
What are you doing? Put your hands up!
Oh, what? Do you want me to put my hands up so I can submit to you? I have a boyfriend.
You know what? Don't put your hands up. Just open up the register and...
Hey, girl! Oh my gosh, how was Coachella?
Honestly, so lame this year.
Really?
There's like nobody to see, honestly.
Ew, gross.
That's it right there! Give it to me!
Excuse me, give you what? She has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Can you just please tell her to give me the money? That's all I'm asking.
Excuse me, I have a boyfriend.
Money in the bag, now!
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
I have a boyfriend.
Not what I asked. Put the money in the bag.
I get it. You saw me. You were too nervous to talk to me, so you went home to grab a mask so you could talk to me. But regardless, I have a boyfriend.
Do I look nervous to you? I don't care if you have a boyfriend. Put the money in the bag or I'll shoot.
Shoot what? Shoot your shot?
No, I'll shoot the gun that's in my hand.
You tell people that drink, oh, I don't drink, they're like, hell yeah, more for me. I like that attitude. Coffee people are not that way. I'm pretty convinced coffee is a multi-level marketing scheme. They're like, hey, good morning, would you like a cup of coffee? And I'm like, no, thank you, I don't drink coffee. And they're like, oh, so you just wake up? So I avoid coffee shops, but I was going to a friend's house and I sent them a text of like, hey, I'm on my way, let me know if I can stop and get anything, right? And then we all send that text, and immediately after we send it, we're like, if they make me fucking stop and get something. And that friend texted me back, 100% iced coffee, which I now understand was that person saying, I 100% want something. That something is iced coffee. But I do not drink coffee, so I thought 100% iced coffee is how you call it. I thought the percentage was in it. Don't fucking laugh! Don't laugh! It made sense to me. I'm like, milk's been doing percentages for decades, you know? You got dumb fucks paying for 2% of milk, where's the other 98%? I started having false memories of being in coffee shops and seeing people being like, Americano, 80-20. I'm standing in line, I finally get to the front of the line. Very nice baristas, like, what can we make for you today, sir? And I was like, 100% iced coffee. And he did nothing. He didn't press a button, he didn't look at his other worker and go, make it! Or whatever he looks at me and he goes, what did you say? And I'm like frazzled and I'm like, oh, I didn't go hard enough. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I want a 100% iced coffee. You fucking idiot. And he goes, sir, I have 0% idea what you're asking for. Because if I give you 100% coffee, it's not iced. And if I give you 100% ice, you have no coffee. What are we doing? And what we decided on, him and I as a team, I would be purchasing a large cup of coffee. I would be purchasing a large cup of ice. I would be purchasing a third empty cup to do the math in. Just take it back to the lab, like, you tell people that drink, okay. Oh, I don't.
Hey, bro, come on. If you don't go, I'll go. Oh, I'll go. Mamá, yo voy a comprarlo.
Hey, do you want to be my girlfriend?
I can work with this. Come with me. Of course I'll be your girlfriend. Hey, cutie, you want to go out?
Yeah, sure. Hey, do you want to be my girlfriend?
I can work with this. Come with me. Of course I'll be your girlfriend. Hey, cutie, you want to go out?
Yeah, sure. Hey, do you want to be my girlfriend?
I can work with this. Come with me. Of course I'll be your girl. I'll be your girlfriend. Hey, cutie, you want to go out?
Yeah, sure. Hey, do you want to be my girlfriend?
I can work with this. Come with me. Of course I'll be your girlfriend. Hey, cutie, you want to go out?
Yeah, sure. Hey, do you want to be my girlfriend?
I can work with this. Come with me.
You're fired. Yeah.